Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, the Office Blokes.
Yes, indeed we
If
are.
Patreon's your thing, head on down to the link below. Check it all out. Loads of stuff on there. Starting at a bargain price of just
£1.50 per month.
wow.
Yeah.
We even had a double drop of The Office this week.
We have indeed.
Things like that. So it's 2 offices.
Do little bonuses
Yeah,
here
bonus,
and there.
yeah.
We're looking at doing more stuff on there as
Yeah,
well. A bit of different stuff, so mix it up a little bit. So
There's loads of stuff on there soon. Yeah. So there's loads of stuff on there already. So check out the link below.
Yeah.
Only 0.0001% can beat this challenge.
wow, that's a small percentage.
I think we've looked at this challenge once before where they get the gold bar out of the...
I have seen bits like this before about like a
Seen a
gold bar
couple,
or whatever, but
should we get into it and see what other challenges are in there? Yeah. Have you ever done a challenge like this where it's like...
not like
It's
this.
very impossible to do, but you...
Yeah, those things where you have the grabber and you're picking up the soft cuddly toys.
I don't think I've ever had a go at one of them.
I went through a stage years and years ago with the kids where I was quite successful at it. I mean, it cost me a fortune, but I mean,
more than all the teddies that are in
toys,
there.
just shit anyway.
My dad's a hero. Look what he can do.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll get one son. Then about 20 quid later.
Crane man. Yeah.
There's your crappy little toy.
Let's get into it.
If you can lift this gold bar, it's yours. This is just one of many impossible challenges included in this video. Starting with the easiest of them all, the money booth. Arguably, one of the quickest ways to score yourself handfuls of cash. But if you don't have your technique down pat, you
it's
could end up
techniques, isn't
swiping
it?
at
I think
thin
it
air
is,
and
yeah,
walking
definitely.
away with nothing more than spare change. You could aim for the wads of bills that accumulate in the corners, or you could cheat by standing on the jackpot prize before the machine even starts up. But it turns out, the best tactic is to just open your arms and let the cash come to you.
Oh my gosh.
And while this might be the
Wow.
easiest one on here, this next one is much harder than it looks. Put a dumbbell in front of any guy, and we just can't help ourselves. It's like we're hardwired to lift things just to prove that we can.
Gee, that must be heavy.
So when you set up a 330-pound golden dumbbell and offer $100 to anyone who can lift it one-handed, you get a line of bros ready to have their egos hurt. While everyone's initially confident, it becomes instantly obvious and even embarrassing when no one can lift the mammoth dumbbell. Even bodybuilders and self-proclaimed strongmen fail one after the other. It isn't so much the 330-pound weight. It's a matter of having the right grip and superhuman wrist strength to match. So it's no surprise that the only man capable was this guy.
Wow. Fair play.
Speaking of superhuman wrist strength, you wouldn't think that hanging from a horizontal bar for 100 seconds would be that hard. But it's certainly difficult enough to offer $100 to any.
I've seen one of these, haven't we? Like in the street somewhere where it's like someone offers money to sort of like see if you can do like a minute or is it 100 seconds, did he say?
100 seconds, I think he said, didn't he?
I don't think
$400, I think.
It's not easy, is it?
No, they're not daft. I mean, they set these things up knowing that most people, it's like the 1% club, isn't it? Like the quiz show, they know most people just aren't going to be able to do it. But, it's always one that can, though. Like I said, a lot of it's technique.
I got the 1% club last week.
Oh, did you?
Do well on that. You've got to think outside the box.
I know you have, definitely. Yeah, there's questions start coming up when you've seen a few programs where you think
it's not general knowledge, is
you
it?
can relate one to another. It's just it's thinking outside the box and thinking.
Maybe we'll try and play it on here. See if we can play along with
Hey,
one.
anyone who can pull it off. The majority of people start off strong, but after a while, the lactic acid starts to set in and the arms begin to burn. Sweat starts to make your palms slippery, and before you know it, you're dropping off with just seconds to go.
6, 5, 4.
Seriously, the amount of people that fall off within the last few seconds is crazy. Now, there's a lot of people that'll tell you that this is a carnival scam and that the bar starts to rotate with just seconds to go. But people do win this challenge, and some make it look embarrassingly easy.
Wow.
But if you think winning $100 for 100 seconds seems too easy to be true, wait till you see what's in store at the end of the video. But until then, how's your balance? Most people can stay upright on a bicycle, no problem. But what if you had to ride on top of a 5-inch plank in order to stay dry?
I think you've got to do that at speed, haven't you?
Yeah. I think ones like this, a lot of it is psychological.
Yeah.
I know it's twisting around a bit, there's a bit of undulation there, but normally if you're riding on the road, you can keep it pretty, at decent speed, you can keep it absolutely dead straight, can't you?
Yeah,
So
you're probably
and
right.
a lot of it's looking down. You're thinking, your mind playing tricks with you a bit.
Yeah, because as soon as you're not looking off, as soon as you take the thing like that, you tend to move with the view, don't
Because
you?
normally cycling, you'd be looking straight ahead, but
yeah.
here you've sort of got to look down really, because it is moving about.
I think you just got to look probably 2 or 3 meters ahead.
Try and keep it in the peripheral vision slightly.
Yeah.
The Cycle Plank Challenge
Technique
in
again.
Nepal separates the cyclist from those with terrible balance. If you get the wobbles, it's game over. And most contestants end up face first in the river. But every
I'd have a
now
go
and
with
then,
that.
you get a
Yeah.
two-wheel pro, a
Big old laugh,
cycling
that.
maestro that makes it look easy.
Nice.
But what if the punishment for failing
No.
a challenge was much scarier than just getting wet? The Gap Bridge. A nightmare scenario for
It's
anyone
always
with even
danger.
a mild fear
Yeah.
of
Stuff
like
heights.
that.
It's not the
Psychological
actual
again,
distance
isn't it?
between the bridge's planks that's the problem. It's looking down at the
That's how I hope
sheer
you are.
drop
Yeah.
right beneath you. For some,
think the trick
it's
there
being
is
so scared that your legs turn to
don't look
jelly.
down.
For others, they just can't take one more step and have to turn back for safety. But I think we can all agree that the missing final plank looks pretty painful. The trick with this challenge is balance, and of course, balls of steel to make it to the end. And while high-altitude parkour might be the adrenaline rush for some people, this next
No.
challenge has to be
Not for me.
seen to be believed.
Oh, what are you doing?
No.
Everyone loves bees in theory, but some people would rather enjoy
Why?
them safely from a
No fun.
distance. And that's why the niche field of competitive bee beards is such a weird spectacle. Contestants line up to have thousands of bees dumped on them in the hopes of having the biggest and most elaborate bee beards form on their faces. If you're a little squeamish about creepy crawlies, this might not be the challenge for you, even if the first place prize is $500. You should probably stick to
no
something like
chance.
the swinging bridge.
Wow.
This right here is the ultimate test of balance and weight distribution. Swinging violently from side to side, participants flock to test their skill without getting whacked.
Get it back on.
The wide-legged stance and try to lean with the bridge as it sways from side to side. But there are always a few who can't change their center of gravity and fall off almost immediately. But then there are the show-offs, the ones who play life on easy mode. They figured out a way to turn this challenge into a dance routine. But this isn't the only challenge that has you holding on for dear life. Sometimes you just gotta grab life by the horns. If you aren't at least a cowboy
shit
or
at that.
wrestling bears
Oh, yeah,
for a living,
yeah.
there's a good chance you'll end up like 95% of contestants. On your
That's
back
really
or
difficult one, that, isn't
slammed
it?
against
Really
the inflatable
difficult.
barrier. But what happens if they replace a robot bull with a real one? Ever play real-life chicken with an angry bull? Pro tip, it's probably not the safest pastime in the world. But here's a cool fact about bulls you should probably know if you're heading to a farm anytime soon. Bulls have a vision system that's highly dependent on movement. They don't hate the color red, they hate it when people wave things at them. So in this challenge, all the participants are asked to stand super still before a bull's released into the arena. If they don't move, the bull should, in theory, ignore them and simply run around them. The catch is, if they do move, they become target number 1. From standing completely still to having to move super fast, this challenge has the need.
Remember when we watched like what was it called? Like Bull Roulette or whatever it was called. Or
Yeah.
Where he was sort of like the all-set cowboy. What was the can't remember what it was called? What did they call it?
Wasn't pinball or something, was it?
It was like the cowboys just sat at the table and the bull was like charging at them. It was first one to deck out of the way, wasn't it?
That's right. And was it? I can't remember what it's called
No.
exactly. But I think those bulls were like big as well.
Yeah,
That was like,
yeah,
that was like a baby one,
yeah,
wasn't it? I think.
yeah.
But the ones in that one, I think.
Can't remember what it was called. though.
Ones.
Yeah.
For speed.
Stupid is what it was called.
Disappearing
Yeah,
platforms
idiotic.
are hardly a new concept. They've been stressing gamers out for decades. But this real-life version of your favorite side-scroller requires some actual athletic ability in order to complete successfully. If you don't have the speed to move to the next
Yeah, it's
platform
fast, that, innit?
fast
Yeah.
enough, you'll end up going for an early morning bath. And while walking on water,
I think in my
definitely
younger
might
days
not
would have
be
been
a new
all right at that,
concept.
but I had
Yeah.
to build for
No.
I had to build for it
Gonna
and
do
everything.
too.
But not now.
From one
Be
slippery
way too slow.
situation to another, this next one
Oh.
is close to impossible.
Nah.
The premise is super simple. Run at full speed up this pole and grab the flag perched at the very end. The only catch, it's been covered in slippery grease.
You got no
What
chance,
looks
have
like
you?
a fairly easy task is made all that more difficult when you can't get your footing to stick. Contestant
Close,
after
yeah.
contestant met the cool
Closest
Turkish
by far,
waters,
there.
as no one seemed to be able to tame the slippery totem. Eventually, one man demonstrated to the rest of the crowd exactly how it could be done.
Yeah.
Maybe Red
Brilliant.
Bull gave him wings. But while this challenge is all about speed and action, this next one requires you to do
Just a great bit of fun they are, though. It's like they have
Yeah.
the rough races and stuff like that, and the people going off the piers and the homemade planes.
Yeah,
and
it's
just-
always Red Bull sponsored, isn't
yeah,
it?
isn't it? But
yeah.
they just crash in straight away.
Yeah.
But
They do
great
the soapbox rallies
thing,
and derbies or whatever they're
But
called.
it's, you know, take your family. They're great fun,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. Good laugh.
absolutely nothing at all. These cadets have to pass one final challenge before moving on to the next level of their training. To pass this, there's one rule and one rule only. Don't look back. The catch is, no matter how loud the tank is, no matter how much hot air you feel in the back of your neck, you are not allowed to turn around.
Few head movements.
There was a
Those
few, weren't
cadets
there,
haven't
to the
already
side.
soiled their pants, they're about to do so in this next one. There's one challenge that every Marine has nightmares about: the infamous mud run. Forced to drop to their stomachs and crawl through a filthy, cold, and wet obstacle course. There's nothing glamorous about this training tradition, with mud that extends up to 4 feet deep. Each movement is an exhausting toil both on the mind and body. And to make things worse, the mud run is a team challenge, meaning that if anyone collapses due to exhaustion, the entire team has to circle back and retrieve their fallen man. And while nobody wants to be that person, I'm pretty sure being a participant in this next one is much
Idiots.
worse.
Cheese rolling.
Yeah, it's got to be on it.
Not every competition is centered around a cash prize.
You see all the boneheads sliding down this hill, and first thing I saw was 3 Stoke City shirts.
About right, I would say.
Yeah.
Is it Gloucester or something, this, isn't it, I think?
It's,
We've done a
it's
video
somewhere
on
around
it.
like Cotswolds or somewhere like that.
Yeah,
It could be
it's-
Gloucester. Somewhere,
Yeah, Gloucester, Cotswolds, that area.
that
isn't
area,
it?
yeah.
Definitely.
Prize. Sometimes contestants are after a different kind of cheddar, like in the annual cheese rolling contest, a festival of dairy and downright stupidity. The contest begins with an official rolling of a specially chosen wheel of cheese down a steep hill. After that, all bets are off. Hundreds of people launch themselves down the hill after the cheese, and it's hard to find anyone who can manage to stay upright. You've got fails, flips, and tumbles galore, and that's
you
just
doing?
in the first 5 seconds. To date, no one's been able to catch the fast-flying wheel, which has been clocked in at an eye-watering 70 miles an hour
Wow.
downhill. This doesn't
These
stop the
goons.
contest from crowning a winner each year for the first person to the bottom. You'd be amazed at how many times the winner was unconscious by the time they reached the finish line. Do you think you could do better than a
Absolutely
cockroach?
crazy.
These Japanese scientists wanted to make sure that their extra sticky cockroach glue could work on absolutely anything. So they turned their lab experiment into a real-life competition. To come out on top, all you need to do is make it across this oversized glue trap without getting stuck. Judging by contestant number 1, scientists should stick to theory. The track star made it a little further, but still ended up completely immobilized.
Oh, gee.
The true disappointment belonged to this sumo wrestler, who found himself stuck belly first.
Oh,
No. That looks uncomfortable, that does. Oh, man.
Okay, so how about a challenge that doesn't leave you feeling like a drop?
that glue one could cause, like the athlete went running across. I know he didn't go pelting across.
Yeah.
But I imagine it could cause quite a bit of damage if
Thinking,
you're
'cause
not.
it's got that good grip on
grip
it.
on it, yeah.
Rip your skin off for all
could
sorts.
do all kinds of damage that to the muscle.
Yeah. I'm glad to
The
think what happened
speed.
if you fell on with your head and everything.
Yeah, your hair and all that.
Oh.
Lollipop on a carpet. This competition is outstanding. No, literally. Contestants have to stand on these podiums for as long as they can, outlasting only each other to claim a major prize. Oh, but there's a twist. Every few hours, the contestants are blasted by a different type of extreme weather event, from frigid cold snow to torrential
Things you
rain,
do for money, eh?
followed by an intense
Jesus.
heat wave.
We'll
If
get a job
standing still
instead.
without a break wasn't torture enough, this put the icing on the cake. After about 12 hours, the contestants start dropping like flies, one by one, until the last 2 remain. In the end, after a brutal 22 hours, a contestant gracefully conceded to crown the grittiest survivor. But for the ultimate prize, who could resist a challenge like this? Who wouldn't want a free gold bar? All you have to do is reach in there and grab it. Seems easy enough, right? Well, thanks to an awkwardly placed hole and the surprising 20 kg weight of the gold bar, this challenge is simply
heavy,
too
isn't it?
hard
It's
for
heavy,
most
that,
people.
innit?
You either need super thin forearms or the wrist strength of the Incredible Hulk in order to...
I think someone like a mountain climber might do all right, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, a free climb, you know, with the grip and everything like that.
Well, that same guy, the guy who lifted the weight before, I imagine he's got big wrists.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine a rock climber might be the same as well.
Yeah, you think
Might have the
strength in the wrist and the forearm, you think it's got to be pretty
a
good.
wanker would be good at this.
pull it off. That's not to say it can't be done. It definitely can and has been.
Wow.
Knocks it
Only
back in.
catch is-
Yeah. Someone shoves it back
prize
in
is
quick.
much smaller. Totally worth it though. The final challenge was to make it this far in the video.
I didn't see what the prize was there. It didn't look much,
No, it wasn't
very
a gold.
much.
It wasn't a gold bar anyway.
No,
Because
that's-
I'm
it should
guessing
get-
that was a gold bar. That Jesus,
Yeah,
God, what would that be?
I
It'd be a
don't know,
hell of
it'd
a
be
lot.
expensive, yeah.
$500,000, $1 million,
Yeah,
something.
I don't know what it goes for, but
Be
they
a
are
hell of a lot,
expensive.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, interesting videos like that, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah,
There's
it's
some
really
nutty
good.
people out there who do stuff that's just completely out there.
Some people just do it, don't they? They don't care, and you know, like chasing the cheese roll. I mean, clearly you're never going to catch it, but again, it's a good bit of fun. But I think you get
It's
a few
fun.
injuries there.
Last thing I'd see was fun.
Well, I think it's fun for the people watching, maybe. But,
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly, yeah.
not for participating. Anyway,
Some
that's
good
for
ones
sure.
on there, though. Yeah, hope you
was
guys
indeed,
enjoyed that as
yeah.
well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.